Hi, how are you doing? My name is Rohit and I'll be breaking down the 28th match of this year's IPL, which saw the Kolkata Knight Riders taking on the Lucknow Super Giants in the Eden Garden Stadium in Kolkata. This game was not close from the start, and KKR won this one very comfortably by 8 wickets. And the funny thing is, there really isn't much to speak of in this innings, in this match in general, really. Lucknow gets off to a relatively poor start. The funny thing is, I've been pounding the table for this for the past couple of matches when it came to Lucknow. I said to end the Dev Padikkal experiment and bring in Deepak Hooda at number 3. The funny thing is, they finally did it. They finally brought in Deepak Hooda at number 3. Unfortunately, Deepak Hooda also failed to provide at number 3, only scoring 8 from 10 and getting out relatively cheaply to Mitchell Starc, who also justified his price tag to the KKR team when they made him the highest paid IPL player ever back in the auction a couple of months ago. Starc comes good, 3 for 28 in 4 overs at an economy of 7. Timely breakthroughs, timely dot balls. He was everywhere for KKR and it showed. And KL Rahul got to a start, couldn't necessarily convert. Ayush Badoni anchored one end and just made sure no wickets fell egregiously. Nicholas Puran, again, does what Nicholas Puran does. Back-end hitting, finishing, gets Lucknow to what should have been a defendable total. Here's the problem with that, though. This is Eden Gardens. This isn't Lucknow. In Lucknow, you could get a score of 160 and it would be defendable. And you've seen that time and time and again. LSG defends very well when they're at home, even when they score 160. The best comparison I kind of have is this is a worse version of the old school Sunrisers Hyderabad teams from, let's say, like 2014 to around 2018, where if that team scored 130 in Hyderabad, they were going to win. That's what this Lucknow team is, a worse version of that. But so whenever they score around 160, they usually give themselves a chance. But the problem is, this is Eden Gardens, where the average score over the past couple of years has been anywhere from 180 to around 190. So you are well below par, and no amount of back-end hitting was going to get you close to that. And that starts with batting collapses, nobody really getting going, and the fact that a lot of your players had to get into the game early, which leaves you much shorter at the back end, leaving only Nicholas Puran to really get you those runs. Because, again, yes, Marcus Stoinis can hit at the back end, but Marcus Stoinis comes in early, he gets a few shots in, he gets out cheaply. Ayush Badoni is not necessarily a death overs hitter. He's someone who can stabilize an innings, and he did so today. He comes in at number 4 and stabilizes the innings. He doesn't throw away his wicket. But when it came time to accelerate and put some more runs on the board, he fails to do so and he gets out. And so when it comes to that, Nicholas Puran has no support at the other end. So all the scoring onus fell on him. So in a vacuum, 45 from 32 looks good. It got LSG to a relatively decent score that at least isn't laughable. But the problem is 32 balls that he faced. That is over a quarter of the balls that you have in a T20 innings. So again, mathematically, a lot of stuff does check out, but when you really break it down, it's sort of underwhelming. And that's sort of been the thing with Lucknow this entire season, has been they're getting by, but they're also very underwhelming. And that sense of being very underwhelming showed up at the worst possible time, because when you're on this sort of ground and you're this much below par, you have to bowl out of your mind. And here's the thing, for what it is worth, the Lucknow bowling lineup has bowled well this season. And so you would hope that they would carry that good form into here, but they just didn't. Mohsin Khan was the only bowler to speak of for Lucknow, with Mohsin Khan returning 2 wickets and only 29 runs given up in 4 overs. Every other bowler for Lucknow, except for the 2.4 overs of Ravi Bishnoi, everybody went over 10, and almost all of them went for 12s. Shamar Joseph, none for 47. Krunal Pandya, 1 over for 14. Yash Thakur, 2 overs for 25. Arshad Khan comes in as an impact sub, does not make an impact. If anything, he made an impact for the other team. 2 overs, 24 runs. And so with that sort of bowling performance, you're not going to win a match, let alone a match where you're 25 to 30 runs below the par score of the ground. And in terms of the KKR chase, there were some hiccups early. Sunil Narain and Ankush Raghavanshi, who have both been in pretty good form for the past couple of games, they failed to deliver. But it was Phil Salt who absolutely blasts Lucknow out of this game. He finishes with 89 from 47 in a very, very well-played innings. And Shreyas Iyer provides a runnable 38 at the other end. And so sometimes when one player gets going, it's much better to just be an anchor and just keep the other end calm. Shreyas Iyer did exactly that. He didn't necessarily throw away his wicket because that's what tends to happen in these short chases is sometimes you get a little too antsy, you get a little too preoccupied with your own strike rate without really thinking about what the team needs. And sometimes that can lead to collapses. But credit to Shreyas Iyer for not falling for that sort of trap and keeping his cool and just anchoring the other end, allowing Phil Salt to score freely. And score freely he did. KKR finishes this match with a run rate of over 10, which is insane. But what's even more insane is how undisciplined Lucknow's bowlers were. 22 extras, 3 no balls, 13 wides. That is undisciplined bowling. That is poor line and length, and that is poor spatial awareness. And when you're already up against the wall defending a low score, you cannot make those mistakes. Lucknow made too many mistakes. Their bowlers were not economical. Everything was just disaster. But, so that's basically how it goes. KKR really just stays at their number 2 spot, only behind the Rajasthan Royals, who are flying high in their own right. Lucknow is tumbling down the rankings. They're down to number 5 now, falling out of the playoff positioning, and they're still in a logjam with SRH for that last spot, and that's subject to change very soon because I think this Lucknow team is on a downward spiral. All of a sudden, their seam bowling looks a little underwhelming outside of some unique performances here and there from players like Moshin Khan. And then, yes, they're load managing Mayank Yadav, who is their seam bowling sensation, but without Mayank Yadav in the team, this seam bowling contingent kind of looks lifeless, which is unfortunate because you need a good seam bowling contingent, especially in grounds like Eden Gardens, where it's a lot more seamer friendly than it is spinner friendly. And that's it, really. You got 2 teams heading in entirely different directions, and within a couple of weeks, we might start having discussions about, is this Lucknow team basically a cellar dweller? Is this team going to be relegated to the basement of the league? And is there truly any hope for them? Those questions might get started asking soon. And for KKR, it's, can they keep this up? Can they keep this going and make the playoffs? And right now, they're in a strong position to do so. And so, it's a wait and see for them. With that, thank you so much for watching this one. I'll be back to cover more games of this IPL. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, thank you so much. Have a good one.